Hello, world devs. Thank you for joining me through this episode. And today we're going to talk about JavaScript. I'm going to teach you about JavaScript. So we're going to discuss the introduction. We're going to introduce JavaScript, and we're going to learn the theory part of JavaScript. Then later on, we're going to run the functions in JavaScript. So you're going to understand JavaScript theoretically, and you're going to run code in JavaScript. You're going to execute your functions in JavaScript. So for all those coverage, for all those coverages, you can subscribe to my channel, and I'm sure you're going to grow with me. And I'm going to take you through all the steps. If you have any questions, if you have any likes, any comments that you would like to make, please feel free to come to my comment section and let us share. So I'm going to take you through the introductory part of JavaScript. JavaScript is a dynamic computer programming language. Yeah, its implementation allows client-side script to interact with the user and make dynamic pages. So JavaScript mostly is used in the client side for scripting purposes. What do you understand by scripting? So scripting, another word, is it simply implies JavaScript can receive many variables from many form and different forms of variables from the server side. JavaScript does not restrict the kind of variables that it receives from the server. That makes it so much more dynamic and and easy to implement. It is interpreted a programming language with object-oriented capabilities as well. Yeah. JavaScript comes in hand with many advantages because JavaScript is less server interactive, hence reduces traffic. For instance, when you're running a command and you want to you're requesting something from the server side, when you're using JavaScript is so fast. It goes direct to the point. It goes direct to the point that to the function that you've called. Uh, uh, Another advantage of JavaScript is it is immediate. It is immediate feedback to the visitors. So when you let's say for instance you're logging into account and you're trying uh, to enter your credentials. So JavaScript is going to tell you very fast that your information that you've entered is either valid or invalid. Increased interactivity. Through telling you that, it assures you that the information that you gave it is not reliable, or it's the right information that you gave it. So it's going to give you the next execution as quick as required. It makes the interface more rich. For instance, when you're commanding or when you want to input a query, JavaScript is going to tell you, you know what, this is what you are asking for. Yes, we have this information about this. You want to log into your account. Yes, we have your credentials, but you have put the wrong password. Try putting this password. Another example is you're using your website. You're creating a system, but the credentials that you create for logging into your systems, let's say for instance you want to put a password but you don't want to put a plain password. because your system is generated, it's created in a way that it has this dynamic way of putting your password. When you put a password another way that that your website does not accept, then the system is going to tell you, you know what, this is not what we want you to put the password as. We want you to mix these figures and these figures, and so on and so forth. So JavaScript makes your software more richer. It makes the interface more richer. Now, JavaScript a client, is both client-side programming language, and currently it's as well used as server-side programming language. Let's look into the client-side JavaScript. This is the most common form of the language. The script should be referenced by an HTML document for the code to be interpreted by the browser. It means that a web page needs to be a static HTML, but can include programs that interact with the user, control the browser, and dynamically create HTML content. JavaScript can be used to trap user-initiated events such as button click, link navigation, and other actions that the user initiate explicitly or implicitly. Yes, so JavaScript mostly is used as client-side for client-side link to the server side. Let's say, for instance, you want to create a link. The link is going to take you to to this specific form that you want to use it in applying for a particular job. That is the function of a JavaScript. So you want to deliver, you want to submit the form that you just filled for your application. When you're pressing the click button, you have to use the functionality there. It is implemented using JavaScript. Now another thing, another use of JavaScript is it's a server side language as well. What do I mean by JavaScript? Well, it's not an object-oriented programming language, but you can use Java. It can be sided in extension of JavaScript that enables back-end access to database, file system, and servers. So this whole function is run through Node JavaScript. Now, Node JavaScript is a cross-platform open source server environment that can run on Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac, and more. Node is applicable using all those operating systems. Node is a back-end JavaScript runtime environment, runs on V8 JavaScript engine, and executes JavaScript code outside a browser. Yeah. Now, Node JavaScript lets developers use JavaScript to write command line tools and for server-side scripting. The ability to run JavaScript code on the server is often used to generate dynamic web pages. Content before the page is sent to the user's web browser. Consequently, Node.js represents a JavaScript everywhere. Diagrams unifying web applications, development around a single programming language as opposed to using different languages for server versus client programming. So you can use JavaScript on both. You can use the same language both for client side and server side. Yes, JavaScript as well is case sensitive. All JavaScript identifiers are case sensitive. The variables last name, for instance, you see like the variable last name. When you declare a variable as last name with caps on the name, but declare another variable as last with a small with a low caps on the name, those are very different variables. So when you're calling those variables and you try to, maybe you're trying to call the variable with the caps, and you put the variable without the caps, I'm sure your system is not going to, the function is not going to execute. So in that, we can say JavaScript is very much case sensitive.